activity with a stallion. He was accompanied by a friend, James Michael Tate.
You was getting clapped by a horse, bro. Not some giddy up horsey like clapping on a horse race. No, actually getting like stroked down by the horse's Yo, this might be the worst sentence I've ever said in my life. Like, actually, though. The Gooners who got caught.
The live Gooner incident. On October 19th, 2020, Jeffrey Toobin, a 60-year-old legal analyst and longtime staff writer for The New Yorker, logged into a Zoom meeting from his home, believing he was participating in a routine internal discussion. The call included colleagues from the magazine and members of a radio program, and it was meant to simulate an election night scenario.
Ain't no way we had a gooning incident on live television. Talk about straight up embarrassing.
Toobin assumed his camera and microphone were off. While the meeting continued for others, Toobin remained on screen. Unaware that his video feed was still active, he engaged in gooning, believing he was no longer visible. Several participants noticed what was happening in real time.
Bro, crazy part is, odds are there's probably somebody watching the video right now who did the same thing during a Zoom class. Back in 2020 when the COVID first hit, bro, next thing we know, you're gonna have like hentai virus or whatever they call it. Bro, there's somebody who was doing this on Zoom, okay? Me personally, I was joining Zoom classes and going back to sleep and turning my camera off. But there's another person out there who was watching and low-key gooning to other people in class. Crazy.
Shocked attendees immediately exited the call. Within hours, the incident was reported internally. Toobin was suspended from The New Yorker pending investigation.
Suspended? What? Man, get him fired and then jailed. What are we talking about suspension? Talking about a slap on the wrist, a kiss on the butt cheek.
And placed on leave from CNN, where he frequently appeared as a legal commentator. Days later, he publicly acknowledged the incident, stating it was an embarrassing mistake caused by a misunderstanding of the
Yeah, you're damn right it was.
Zoom interface. In November 2020, The New Yorker terminated his employment after 27 years. CNN later allowed him to return briefly before cutting ties permanently.
Okay, what's the point of that? If you're gonna let him come back, just let him come back. I mean, to be fair, if he wasn't trying to do it and it was an accident, do y'all think he should have got fired? In my opinion, like, even though he did it on accident, I still think he should get removed just for the simple fact that it's too controversial. And you know, let's face it, anytime his face shows up, people are gonna remember him as the dude who jerked it on Zoom, so.
What had been assumed to be a moment of private downtime during a virtual meeting became a career-ending event. The unlocked
That just sucks. That's a boomer-ass mistake, bro.
door incident. On March 14th, 2019, Daniel Mercer, a 19-year-old college student, was alone in his bedroom in a suburban home in Ohio.
Okay.
His parents were downstairs watching television, and the house was quiet. Daniel believed he had privacy. His door was closed but unlocked, a habit formed from years of shared family space where knocking was assumed rather than enforced. Late in the evening, while he was busy gooning in his bed, his mother walked in on him to collect laundry. Assuming he was studying or asleep, she opened the door without knocking. The encounter lasted only seconds. Daniel froze. His mother immediately looked away and stepped back into the hallway.
Awkward. What did Drake say? Embarrassing. God damn. To be fair though, that is the mom's fault entirely. Like, knock on this door. He's a teenager. At this point, bro, he deserves his privacy.
Closing the door behind her without saying a word. In the hours afterward, Daniel remained in his room, overwhelmed by shame and panic. He did not leave to eat or speak. His mother avoided the hallway outside his room for the rest of the night. In the days that followed, neither acknowledged the incident. According to later accounts shared anonymously by the boy in an online forum, the incident permanently altered the emotional dynamic in the household.
Brief intermission. If you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure you go ahead and smash the subscribe button. We're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. All right. I mean, bro, okay, I'm trying to think how I would be as like the kid versus also the parent. Like, if I was the parent, bro, and I caught that, I would be traumatized, right? I'd be like, damn, okay, this is really awkward. Maybe I'd give them the talk about how you shouldn't be gooning, all that type of stuff, obviously. But then, like, to let it emotionally damage a relationship forever, that's kind of weird, bro. Like, let's be real here. The elephant in the room is like, bro, you've seen your son naked a million times. Obviously, when he was a kid, right? You had to change his diapers. Like, at the end of the day, it's just your son. Yes, it's weird. Yes, it's embarrassing for him. Yes, it's strange. Yes, you regret walking in, but should it really damage the relationship to irreparable levels?
Described intense embarrassment, anxiety, and avoidance that lasted for years, despite no further mention of the event by either party. The Toronto serial Gooner attacker.
What?
On multiple mornings throughout 2017, a series of women in downtown Toronto reported a disturbing pattern to police. The incidents occurred in busy public areas, near transit stations, sidewalks, and commercial buildings, often during rush hour. In each case, a man approached from behind, goon and nut on their body without physical contact, and
oh my god, what the hell?
Fled the scene before victims could react.
Drive-by goons liquidating himself onto people? That's not even the right word, but you get what I'm saying.
After several reports were filed, Toronto police began reviewing surveillance footage and witness description. The suspect was identified as 20-year-old Indian man living in the city. Police allege that he deliberately...
What? Indian man? Doesn't he have a name? What do you mean Indian man? That's gotta be racially motivated.
...targeted strangers in public spaces, choosing crowded environments where he could disappear quickly. Later that year, the man was arrested and charged with multiple counts of Investigators stated that the acts were intentional and non-consensual, and that the absence of physical touching did not lessen the severity
Oh yeah, buddy, say goodbye. You're getting life in prison, bro. This should be all types of life sentences. Stack them up. Multiple.
of the crime. During court proceedings, prosecutors emphasized the psychological harm inflicted on victims and the repeated nature of the behavior. He was ultimately convicted and sentenced under Canadian criminal law.
Okay.
The birthday incident. On May 3rd, 2022, a 26-year-old man named Anurak P. was alone in his bedroom at his family's apartment in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It was his
Okay.
birthday. Believing he had privacy for the afternoon, Anurak closed his door but did not
Birthday goons, bro. Are you serious? You would think this man tries to get some action, some love on his birthday, but nah. He goes up, loads up the hub, and types in that new, I don't know, Mia Khalifa. Actually, I don't know. What do they be watching in Thailand? Lady boys?
lock it. Wearing headphones, he was unaware of activity outside his room. As the afternoon passed, Anurak remained absorbed in his behavior, looking for the right video to goon to on the hub. Unknown to him, his parents, relatives
Wait, what did that say right there?
in his behavior, looking for the right
Huh? What is he watching?
video to goon to on the hub. Unknown to him, his parents, relatives, and several close friends had gathered in the living room to prepare a surprise celebration. A cake had been lit with candles. Someone began recording on a phone. At approximately
You cannot wish this on your worst enemy, bro.
6:40 p.m., the group moved down the hallway toward his room. Without knocking, his aunt opened the door. The group immediately began singing Happy Birthday in unison. The singing continued for several seconds
Literally the worst birthday of his life, I promise you.
before anyone registered what they were seeing. Anurak froze in place. The room fell into confusion as some family members turned away, while others stood silently. His mother quickly closed the door and told everyone to return to the living room. The recording ended abruptly and the celebration was canceled.
Bro, what's worse is like, you can't even like act like this is ignorable, bro, because in the last situation where it was just the mom, right? It was one person, so maybe they could not tell everybody, bro, your entire family walked in on you going like these on your birthday, bro. Not only are you a gooner, not only did they catch you in the act, but 3, you're a loser doing it on your birthday, bro.
That evening, Anurak did not leave his room. The following morning, Anurak was found deceased in his bedroom. Emergency services were contacted, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The death
What?
was ruled a suicide. No
Oh my God.
note was released publicly. The vacuum incident.
Oh my God, rest in peace. That's so sad, bro. Why did he do that? Bro, you didn't have to do that. I know you felt shame and embarrassment, but dude.
On August 16th was ruled a suicide. No note was released publicly. The vacuum incident. On August 16th, 2016, a 67-year-old man was alone in his apartment in the United States. He had been gooning for several hours using a household vacuum cleaner in a way he believed was safe. As
Yo, dude. Okay, hold on. Maybe we're questioning his methods, but let's hear him out, though, because it does have that vacuum suction on it. So maybe that does feel great.
he continued, the suction from the vacuum became stronger than he expected. His got stuck in the vacuum and swelling quickly developed, making it impossible to pull free. Pain escalated as
Oh my God. Death by vacuum dick.
circulation was blocked. He panicked, but embarrassment delayed his decision to call for help, leaving him trapped in the grip of his gooning. By the time he
No.
contacted emergency services, the swelling had become severe.
Wait, why did he think to just turn off the vacuum first?
By the time he arrived at the hospital, the trapped tissue showed signs of necrosis, meaning it could not recover even if circulation was restored. Doctors determined that attempting to save the affected groin tissue would place the patient at risk of life-threatening infection
Oh,
and
no.
sepsis. At that stage, his has to be cut off. The man was
Oh,
sedated
my.
and he survived. In his statement to clinicians, he acknowledged that he had been gooning and had not understood how dangerous household suction devices.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, there's a threshold of gooning, bro. After you're like 30 years old and you're still gooning, you are actually like a certified dweeb and loser, bro. You need to have a family, you need to have a significant other, you need to be trying to find some action or something. But 67 gooning, bro? And the fact of the matter is, at that point, bro, you're not watching people your age anymore. You're watching 20-year-olds, probably freaking 25 max, honestly. This dude is watching like people that should be his daughter's age, his grandchild's age or whatever, in these type of ways, bro. You could need to hang it up, bro. It's weird. He had to get a dick amputation.
Could be. The case was recorded anonymously in medical literature as a preventable accident, the Enumclaw incident. On July 2nd, 2005, a 45-year-old Boeing engineer named Kenneth Pinion took his own gooning to another level. He visited a rural farm in Enumclaw, Washington, specifically to engage in activity with a stallion. He was accompanied by a friend, James Michael Tate, who
A stallion? He ain't talking about no Megan the Stallions. He's talking about real horses.
was recording the encounter on a digital camera. As the evening progressed, Pinion engaged in a sexual act with a horse that resulted in him suffering a perforated colon.
Oh my God. And it said apparently bro was the one taking it. You was getting clapped by a horse, bro. Not some giddy up horsey like clapping on a horse race. No, actually getting like stroked down by the horse's Yo, this might be the worst sentence I've ever said in my life. Like, actually, though.
Perforated colon is a hole or tear in the large intestine wall, a life-threatening medical emergency where stool leaks into the abdomen, causing severe infection and potentially fatal sepsis.
That's so nasty, dude. What did you see in the horse to make you do this, bro? That's actually disgusting. Isn't this illegal?
Pinion did not initially realize the life-threatening nature of his injury. He and Tate spent some time watching the footage they had recorded before Pinion's condition rapidly deteriorated.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Doing something like that, taking advantage of an animal, you deserve the pain that you got. Honestly.
At approximately 9:30 p.m., after Pinion began to experience extreme pain and went into shock, his companions drove him to the Enumclaw Community Memorial Hospital. They dropped him off at the emergency room entrance and fled the scene.
Damn.
Hospital staff attempted to resuscitate Pinion, but he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The following morning, an autopsy confirmed that Pinion had died from acute peritonitis caused by the internal rupture. The driveway Gooner incident. On May 14th, 2025, an 18-year-old high school student shared a harrowing account on Reddit regarding a catastrophic failure of Bluetooth proximity settings. Late in the evening, while in the privacy of his bedroom with his door locked and noise-canceling earbuds firmly in place, he began watching explicit adult content on his smartphone. Unbeknownst to him, his father had recently parked the family's SUV in the driveway directly beneath his bedroom window, leaving the electronics in accessory mode. As the teenager adjusted his phone's volume to the max—
oh my god, this is my biggest fear ever when I was younger, bro. When I was like a max level Gooner, bro, I always thought, what if like it connects to the Bluetooth of the main speaker or like the TV somewhere else? I would be so cooked, bro. The furry videos I was watching, I'm just kidding, okay? I wasn't watching that.
Setting. The device's auto-connect feature bypassed his earbuds and paired with the vehicle's high-fidelity sound system.
Oh my god.
The graphic audio from the video did not play in his ears, but instead blasted at full volume through the car's—
you gotta act like it wasn't you, bro. Like, you gotta lie. That's your only way.
Speakers. At that exact moment, his older sister was sitting in the driver's seat, having just entered the vehicle to run a late-night errand. Startled by the sudden eruption of explicit audio, she initially believed the car's infotainment system had been hacked or a prank was being played. The teenager, realizing his earbuds were silent—
no, you gotta go with that. Just say it was a prank.
Despite the volume bar being full, looked out his window to see his sister staring at the dashboard in horror before frantically turning off the ignition. The incident resulted in an immediate and deeply uncomfortable family confrontation.
Whoa, okay, sister. Holy snitch. What the hell? I ain't gonna lie, I thought if anything, it's your sister, so maybe she's not gonna trip as much because she probably watched this freaking Gooner material too anyways. Maybe she's not gonna snitch on you, but family intervention for that? No, your sister's lame as hell for that, bro.
Opportunist Gooner incident. On August 15th, 2023, San Diego police officer Anthony Hare arrested a woman on a bench warrant and began a standard transport to the Las Colinas Women's Detention Facility. During the drive, body camera footage captured a sexually suggestive conversation of the woman telling Hare she's down to fuck right now. As they approached the facility at approximately 1:33 a.m., Hare diverted his patrol cruiser onto a dark residential side street, turned off his headlights, and deactivated his body-worn camera. Unbeknownst to him at the time—
oh, he's about to get action.
Entering the rear passenger compartment to be with the detainee would trigger the vehicle's automatic safety locks. Hare inadvertently—
dumbass. Oh my god.
Locked himself inside the caged rear cabin with the woman, becoming trapped for over an hour.
Okay, the real question is, did he crack or was he like just panicking now?
Stricken and unable to open the doors from the inside, he was eventually forced to call a fellow officer for assistance, initially claiming he was checking the woman's pulse during a medical emergency. A supervisor arrived at 2:40
how does the body cam turn off, dummy? You forgot there's a child lock or whatever the heck protection lock in the back, bro. They're not gonna believe this.
a.m. to extricate a visibly embarrassed Hare from the vehicle. Investigators found that Hare had falsely notified dispatch of his arrival at the detention center and discovered traces of semen on his duty belt. Hare resigned—
oh, you're done. It's over.
On September 14th, 2023, just one day before a scheduled interview with Internal Affairs. By July 2024, his peace officer certification was officially revoked by the California Peace Officer Standards Accountability Board. The incorrigible—
he threw away his whole career all for some coochie, bro. And these freaking police officers just began hired, bro. They do not go through enough training because clearly this dude was like, it wasn't even that deep, bro. You know, I'll throw it away just for a little bit of action.
Gooner. In 2000, California Peace Officer Standards Accountability Board. The incorrigible Gooner. In 2006, Dennis James Davidson, a then 29-year-old man—
what the hell is going on with his eyes, bro? My eyes are over here, man. What are you looking at? It looks like somebody hit him with— boy, I oughta— whoops. They like rattled his marbles, bro.
Began a series of public gooning that eventually led to his branding as an incorrigible masturbator by the Oregon court—
I don't even know what that means. That's how bad that is.
Court system. His first recorded incident occurred while he was living with his grandmother. A neighbor witnessed him standing on another neighbor's porch gooning. When confronted by the witness, Davidson thrust his hips toward her and shouted, "You
Oh my God. You want some of this? No.
You want some of this? Before police arrived and found items in his backpack, including lubricant and a note expressing a frustrating crush on the woman whose porch he had occupied. Just
Yo, bro. Wait, isn't that his grandma's porch? I don't know. This dude's just freaky as hell. Needs to be in jail.
weeks later, Davidson was caught gooning again.
Why the hell is he free? What do you mean weeks later? Why is he roaming the streets weeks later? Why do people like this get allowed to just go free, bro? And meanwhile, there's people in jail right now who are innocent from their crimes, bro. What the hell, man? You had this man in 4K literally saying, you want some of this. We all saw it. How does he just walk free?
On an elementary school playground in full view of 3 children and several school.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done. Wrap it up. It's over. It's over. It's over. Those kids had to get traumatized all because the police wanted to just let him go because the judicial system is trash. Now we have 3 traumatized children, and now this guy's finally going to be in jail for life like he should have been. They should have got him the first time. What the hell?
Staff members, resulting in his first significant prison term. Upon his release in 2008, he
Yo, bro, they don't learn. They actually don't learn. They actually don't learn, bro. It's been 3 times. What you mean release? Why is he out?
was arrested again within 4 months for gooning in a strip mall parking lot in front of 3 women and a toddler. This pattern reached a peak in 2011 when, only 4 days after being released from
Yo, why does he keep getting released? How does he keep getting out? Is this freaking Pablo Escobar?
prison for his previous crimes, he was spotted behind a tree at a Salem park gooning while watching a family on a picnic. Due to
Yo, bro, whoever's in charge of this freaking judicial system, wherever he's from, you gotta be like some type of like weird Epstein level threat. Like your name is probably redacted in the files or something because, dude, what the hell? Why does he keep getting out? This guy's done it 5 times when other people probably would get a life sentence for this. Why is he able to get out, actually? Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. That was the most disturbing Gooner incidents. Let me know what you want to check out next in the comment section down below. With that being said, have an amazing rest of your day. It's Love and Law. I love you, and I'm out.